Welcome back to Nightchild Reviews. The truth is that ultimately we may never know anything more than the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Prince's philanthropy and charitable deeds. Whilst sometimes Prince undertook these generous acts in public, such as with the Love for One Another charity tour, Prince, in the vast majority of cases, kept his helping hands anonymous. In many cases, keeping Prince's name out of the donation was the only stipulation. Here we will quickly take the briefest look at some of the many unsung acts of kindness, paying it forward and support that Prince gave to people over the years. The first point to make is that these acts of philanthropy were present throughout Prince's career, whether it was a hat and coat drives at his concerts to help the homeless, Purple Rain concerts such as the beginning of 1985 where Prince gave, amongst other benefit shows, a free concert for the children from the MD Cancer Center in Texas, or the amazing concert at the Lame Center for Performing Arts in the Bronx, New York. To quote from AP News, "Flower garlands were wrapped around microphone stands and piled atop the piano, and Prince and members of his band, The Revolution, threw them to the wildly enthusiastic crowd. The kids arrived by bus and van from public schools, private institutions, and United Cerebral Palsy centres around the city. 2 rows of chairs in the 2,300-seat auditorium were removed to make room for wheelchairs, and many children were carried to their seats. And quite frankly, they have not been publicised because they are closed affairs," Alan Leeds said. He does it because he happens to get gratification out of playing for people who might not ever be able to attend a rock concert. There's no hidden motive. He gets off on it, so we do it, Leeds said. Some of them have never seen anything like it. That's why Prince does it, says Roy Bennett, production designer of Prince's Roadshow. Sign language interpreters wearing purple t-shirts and black leather pants stood on both sides of the stage and signed the lyrics. These shows continued over the years with events such as the Love for One Another Charities Tour, and here I'm quoting from the Days of Wild website. The Love for One Another Charities Tour was done to create awareness for underprivileged people. There was a food and clothes drive at the door every night. You could bring anything to help others. Prince's website at the time had the same name and was advocating the same thing as the tour stood for. Whether it was supporting autism through a series of concerts later in his career, or getting his band to present cheques before concerts, Prince's charitable activism was clear to all. However, this was, to be clear, just the very smallest fraction of all Prince undertook. Let's take a brief look at just some of those. In 1985, Prince donated $500,000 to help Martha Collins, the remarkable educator. Here I would like to quote the superb blog, A Purple Day in December, written by the amazing writer Erica Thompson. The link is below, and I cannot recommend enough that you check out these first-class Prince explorations. This is from that great blog. The video also features esteemed educator Martha Collins, who started the Westside Preparatory School in Chicago for low-income black children. In 1985, Prince donated $500,000 to help Collins start the Westside Preparatory School Teacher Training Institute. He was really excited and thrilled by the way she was teaching these little kids, Prince's protégé Jill Jones said in our interview. He sat and watched this class. He thought hard and long about the causes he did get involved with. I would also really love to draw your attention to this truly emotional video, which was directed by Jen Heck. This video is part of Prince's memorial tribute in Minneapolis in 2016 and features a number of causes Prince secretly helped with. I've put the link below, and it's a remarkable film, just 9 minutes long, but quite a powerful 9 minutes. This clip is a taster of how expertly Jen brings to life the beautiful acts of support Prince undertook. Here, Prince has contacted Jeffrey Canada, the founder of the Harlem's Children's Zone.
It's on the phone, and he just says to me, I want to help you. He said, I don't want anybody to know about this. I just want to help you. I'm going to give the Harlem Children's Zone $1 million out of this tour. And I said, wait, Prince, did you just say you're going to give us $1 million? But we're not going to tell anybody about it. He says, it'll ruin it if anybody hears. He says, if you have been blessed the way I have, you have to give back.
One of the personal moments that will always stick with me is when I attended the Afshin Shahidi photography exhibition, A Private View, in London, organised by the hugely popular and generous Violet Reality Group. Afshin talked of watching Prince go to charities himself and hand out gifts and support. And then a few days later, Afshin showed Prince a number of photographs he had taken at the event. Prince smiled at the poignant photographs and then told Afshin firmly, "These must not be seen. That's not why we do this." Prince was central to supporting the Yes We Code initiative, which helps underprivileged children to enter the tech industry and change tomorrow's world. Prince also supported Green for All, a group working to fight climate change and bring green jobs to underprivileged communities. Quoted in the Guardian newspaper, Van Jones notes how Prince became involved. "I was an Oakland activist giving speeches about the need for green jobs," Jones told me over the phone, recalling how he first came into contact with a musician 10 years ago. "Prince heard me in the media and sent a $50,000 cheque to support the work I was doing. But he did all his giving completely anonymously, so I sent the cheque back. You never know when someone is trying to set you up. It could have been from Chevron or from a drug dealer or whatever. So then he sent the cheque back and I sent it back again, and then he sent it back and then I sent it back, until finally a representative called and said, 'Will you please accept this cheque? I won't tell you who it's from, but the guy's favourite colour is purple.' I said, 'Well, now you're going to have a different problem. I'm not going to cash this cheque, I'm going to frame it.' Prince's logic was clear. Rather than argue about global warming, he said, 'Let's help kids put up solar panels.' Van Jones noted that Prince thought it was in poor taste for these celebrities to get millions of dollars and then write a cheque and have their publicists all over the media bragging about it. He was like, 'This is ridiculous. We get enough attention. We're celebrities.' Prince on another occasion contacted Van Jones and said, 'Where are her kids? Where are her kids?' I go, 'Prince, what are you talking about?' He goes, 'Lauren Hill, where are her kids?' He'd found out that Lauren had got into some trouble, and the first thing he wanted to know was where are her kids and what he could do to help. In 2011, Prince also donated $250,000 to Eau Claire Promise Zone, a citywide grassroots coalition of community partners committed to doing whatever it takes to ensure all of the city's children are prepared to graduate from college and be successful in their career and in life. It wasn't always the big donations that meant the most, but those inspiring moments when Prince would simply drop by. I just love this note from the children at the Goddard School. Prince gave $250,000 to the Uptown Dance Academy in New York and $200,000 to the Harvest Network of Schools, which NPR News quotes here. In 1993, Prince donated $200,000 to the Harvest Network of Schools. The group is made up of about 1,300 charter school students, mostly poor and black. Prince's gift helped fund Harvest's purchase and renovation of a former nursing home on an Olson Memorial Highway in North Minneapolis. It was the absolute game changer at that time. There's very little startup money available for schools. There was no press release or big event. He simply found out about our school and felt that it added value to the community. He cared deeply about children and investing in and safe places for them to play and learn. He also gave $23,000 to the Bridge of Youth, which helps runaway and homeless youth. Only upon Prince's passing did they even know that he had given them money. He was way beyond his time in terms of wisdom and addressing some major social, racism issues in our country, said Executive Director Michelle Basham. But he also really lived his values. He gave money to charity, but he did it without asking for credit. Prince also gave money to Trayvon Martin's family after he was killed in 2012. In a recent interview on MSNBC, Martin's mother, Sabrina Fulton, said Prince wanted no recognition. She said it was a shame she couldn't say anything until Prince was gone. He was a very private person, Fulton told Reverend Al Sharpton. We were told where it had come from, but we just did not say publicly that he was a supporter until now. It was a shame that we had to wait until his death in order to say something. Whether it was performing at the Special Olympics, such as in 1991, or on the Purple Rain Tour when Prince performed a special show for blind and deaf children, his dedication to extending a helping hand and sharing in his success was abundantly clear. Quite frankly, this video is woefully inadequate to even begin to put into context all Prince supported, funded, assisted and created, and in a strange way, that's a very good thing. Prince was very clear that he'd been blessed and that getting credit should not be the reason to help out your fellow community. That, above all, will hopefully inspire us all in this community to aspire to help others where we can, whether financially, through time, or simply checking up on how people are coping. This community has so much generosity within it, and Prince's example of this can only help us. As Prince once sang on the track Love Sign, "If you only had 1 year left to live, what good is the time you spend if you got no love to give? Let's all get up off the front and find a cause to back. Then we could teach the babies replications of the act." Or, to put it even more simply, only love there is the love we make. As always, thank you, truly, for everything.